Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. So guys, we ended up kind of having an unexpected sort of family emergency sort of thing come up today. It ended up kind of changing everything up for today, and everything for the most part looks like everything should end up, being okay in the long run, but it's just like, like especially today was kind of, again, a lot, and tomorrow probably too, and again, potentially through some of this week, but again, too, in the long run, everything should be okay. But today I was telling you guys how, our contractor was supposed to come over to finish the flooring upstairs and finish the trim as well. So it ended up coming down to where I was actually the only person here during the day. And so the originally, I think he was supposed to come earlier, and he didn't end up coming until later. He actually, I think, honestly, I want to say came around like maybe 2 o'clock or something like that, very close to when my dad was actually like getting home from work. And so but again, 2 o'clock is kind of late. He did end up finishing everything today, but again, too, it was tough because like when I'm home, again, by myself and with the dogs, the dogs are the bigger problem here, because again, too, well, today, surprisingly though, they did the best that I think they did, or at least better than yesterday, and better than any of the other time that like our contractor's been here working upstairs. They were pretty quiet, pretty chill, like, for the most part. The problem is that it's trying to get out of the room, because the dogs don't like to stay locked up in one room, especially my room, my small little room, which, like I was telling you guys, because of the construction project that's going on upstairs, there is limited space in the downstairs of the house, because all the furniture that was upstairs is now downstairs, or it's displaced in other places in the house, or in the garage or whatever. And so, there's not that much room in my room right now. So, the dogs too, both puppies were up on my bed today. Bliss too, she's on the floor, and just again too, like I was saying, limited space. It's very difficult to kind of navigate around in my room, especially with all the dogs in here. And on top of that too, whenever I go to leave, they want to leave, so they're jumping off the bed, and then there's 3 dogs all standing right next to the door trying to get out and stuff like that. It's just kind of chaos, and it's kind of difficult to, like I said, even to corral them, to get them to like go outside, then come back inside and lock them back up in my room. And the reason I have to have them locked up in my room is because I can't put them in the hallway, because then if they need to use the bathroom, they can't, because the dogs are in the hallway and there's no access to the bathroom other than through the hallway. So like I said, it gets kind of difficult. And so, like, even again too though, Bliss especially, she is so stubborn. If she is, in the hallway and she doesn't want to come back in my room, like, again, I take her outside and then I'm like, okay, you got to come back into my bedroom, whatever. She is stubborn. She will go and hide behind things. She will go and, lay up against walls so that you can't, like, try and scoot her out of there. She will go completely flat on the floor. She is so stubborn when she does not want to do something. So it's a pain to try and, like I said, keep all 3 of the dogs kind of calm and settled all at the same time, and like I was saying too, either keep them from trying to get out of my room, or trying to get them back into my room, or again, whatever it is. It's difficult for one person. Generally, like I said, they were supposed to have been here earlier in the day, but then they ended up coming in later. Then my dad was like, well, if I end up, getting a hold of them, and like, because they said like between such and such time, and it started to get later than that. So my dad was like, well, I'll try and ask if they're not, if they aren't going to end up coming, until later, just to not come today, maybe tomorrow, or, again, Friday, something like that, to finish it. Especially too, because I'm thinking, are they going to be able to finish in that amount of time? If it's starting to get that much later and later and later, are they going to be able to finish before the end of today anyway, and they just have to come back the next day? So then, like, what's the point? But they didn't. They ended up coming, like I said, about 2 o'clock, and everything upstairs though ended up getting finished. So the entire upstairs is all of the flooring is all done, and all of the trim for the most part is done. So my mom's office is not done because of the we're doing the built built-in desk, and my dad said he tried to tell them to not to put in the trim over in 2 spots where we have the like radiator heaters, or like the baseboard heaters upstairs. So in the one spot they did, the other spot they put the trim in, but they ended up, like I said, cutting it on the one side, but then the other side they ended up cutting it, or they didn't, they put the trim in. And then in my mom's office though, I think my dad told them not to put it in, or not to put it on 2 walls, but then they didn't put it on all 3 of the walls, but they did in the other section where they weren't. So my dad was like, I wonder if they got confused and like put it in the one side, but we can just cut it and then use it in the other section. And again too, with my mom's desk, the whole point was my dad told them don't, like, they didn't need to do them in there because we have to cut the desk in anyway, so it's easier if we just put the desk in and then cut the pieces in to put in there, which again too, we can do ourselves. So the whole kind of thing was just that, you know, like I said, there's a couple spots upstairs that we still kind of have to, again, like, either put in, or like I said, in the one spot we have to take out where the heater was. And so, but my dad was saying, he was like, I might have told them the wrong, or like confused them in like the spot placement, because he might have told them not to put it, that like the heater was going in my mom's office and not in her closet. So again, it could have been that, or again too, they just the other thing too we realized is that my dad, well, I made sure I was in charge of getting the shoe, my dad was in charge of getting the trim when we picked it out at Menards, and not in charge of like picking it out. He was just in charge of like getting the pieces, and we needed 12 pieces, 12 8-foot pieces. I got 12 8-foot pieces of shoe. My dad only got 11 8-foot pieces of trim. And when we got up to the register, because I was like, I'm gonna count mine and just make sure that I got 12. I was like, I'm gonna double check, so I count it. And then I go to count my dad's piece of trim, and I was like, you only got 11. I was like, you were 1 short. So we were also 1 short. That was another reason too why they didn't actually have enough to finish the one spot in my mom's office too, if they also put it in the wrong spot, because my dad got too much, or not enough. And on top of that too though, it's actually smarter that they put it in so that we can cut it in, so that we can get it a little bit closer to like exact, versus it might not be, like, I know the one wall, it was where we had it before, but it's a little bit smaller, I think, so it's actually a better idea that they did that. And again too, we can just take it out and use it on the other side. My mom's office is use it like the pieces. So anyways though, like I said, everything's done upstairs, and I would show you guys right now, but again too, it's dark upstairs, there's no light. And I mean, I can turn the light on, the like stand light, but yeah, I'm gonna save that for another time. So I'll probably save that for tomorrow and share that with you guys and how the whole room looks. But the other thing too is that when our contractor was here actually yesterday, he had noticed, after we got done painting, he was like, I noticed that some of the spots where he had done the drywall, that there was a couple spots that he wasn't really happy with. So he really wanted to get a couple of the spots kind of like fixed up a little bit, which I noticed like a couple of little imperfections. It wasn't anything super noticeable. But like he, again too, was very much like, no, I'm gonna get this fixed. So he did not plaster, but like put the like patch kind of stuff on a couple spots that he noticed, which my dad had already told him too that we were gonna end up touching up some of the paint job, because I think I was the only person that ended up getting paint on the ceiling. My dad had finished doing the ceiling paint and then taped it off, and then I went to go and roll the walls, and I was the only person, me, Matthew, and Jack were all 3 of us working upstairs and doing the rollers on the wall, and I was the only person that ended up getting a little tiny spot on the ceiling, and I was like, I can't believe I did that. So my dad does have to fix that, but he also has to fix like the edging a little bit, where, you know, like near the tape line of the ceiling too, and a couple other things too that he needed to fix up. So you know, like I said, just like little touch-up stuff. So since he knew that we were doing that anyway, he was like, I'm gonna fix the you know, again, the little imperfections that he noticed, because it was hard to tell when before the, you know, primer and paint went on. Once the paint went on, you kind of start to actually see a little bit more, where I was like, I didn't notice that before I painted. You know, like again too, like either little seam or like something like that. So, you know, like I said, he saw it and he ended up, you know, fixing a couple of those things there, which was really awesome. And again, too, since we're touching up some of the paint anyway, we're just gonna, you know, again, paint over some of the stuff that he ended up fixing, which was really awesome. So again, it looks really nice up there. It looks finished with trim. And again, too, we've only ever had carpet upstairs, so the fact that we now have this, which I don't even know if I told you guys, we didn't end up going with carpets back upstairs. My parents ended up going with the, I don't think it's the vinyl plank. Is it vinyl plank flooring or the other stuff? The I don't remember what it's called. I think it's the other thing, not the vinyl, but the goodness, I can't remember what the other thing's called. And it's gonna drive me crazy, so I'm not gonna sit here and try and think about it. But I think it's the other kind. It's not vinyl, but the, like I said, whatever the other one is, but the plank flooring, the like snap-in groove, like plank flooring, was what they went with upstairs. And like I said, now that like the trim is on, and again too, like even too, we have to touch up the trim because you can see, like, again too, you have to like paint over it and everything like that once they put all of the, you know, the, what's it called, like the nails in and stuff like that. So again, we have to go over that as well. But like I said, it looks so nice upstairs. It looks like a finished complete room, which like I said is so crazy because you know, again too, I remember when it was literally, there was nothing up there. You know, we had the walls stripped down and all of the, you know, it's just such a long process, but it's finally like done. And again too, we're gonna probably do, again, the little bit of, you know, again, touch up stuff that we kind of have to do before getting the furniture stuff in, and then once we do, we can start moving all that in and the electric stuff and everything like that too. So again, it was a really awesome day for that, you know, and having the room done upstairs, which was really cool. But because I was trapped in my room all day with the crazy dogs, which like I said, they were very calm. That was the thing, was that I was actually surprised. Like Bliss almost never like wanted to get up and like, you know, even if she heard something in like the hallway, like upstairs or whatever, she never like really, she didn't seem to very often get like, you know, again, all riled up or anything. The worst one was Charlie today. He was horrible. And I think he knows I'm talking about him too. So, but he was like the worst today. Even Bravo wasn't that bad, but Charlie was just, he was annoying. But they overall weren't too bad today. Like I said, compared to yesterday, they were actually pretty good. But like, and I think they're kind of getting used to that. Like, you know, the fact that we've had somebody coming out so consistently and getting some of the work and stuff like that done. They kind of just seem like they know, like, oh yeah, like, you know, again, somebody's here, and we go in Kayla's room. So because I was in here with them all day, I ended up getting a lot of editing done today and a lot of computer stuff too, lists and things like that, grocery lists, all that kind of stuff, which was really awesome. So anyways, I will see you guys though all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see y'all very soon, tiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.